I'm Marcus, 32 years old. 3 weeks ago, my father stood in front of 200 people at his Forbes CEO gala and called me the biggest mistake of his life. I didn't cry. I didn't argue. I just smiled, walked to the podium, and played a single video on the projector screen. Then I left. The room went completely silent. My father's face turned white. His business partners started whispering. His wife, my stepmother, actually gasped out loud. By the time I reached the parking lot, my phone was blowing up. 17 missed calls, 43 texts. But I didn't look at any of them, because what they saw on that screen? That wasn't just embarrassing. That was the end of everything my father had built for 40 years. Before I tell you what was on that video, please hit that like button and subscribe, but only if this story resonates with you. Drop a comment telling me where you're watching from and what time it is there. I read every single one. Let me take you back 8 months. To the day I found out my grandmother, my father's mother, had died. I didn't hear it from my father. I didn't hear it from my stepmother. I heard it from a Facebook post. My cousin tagged me in a memorial post. Rip Grandma Rose. She was the best. That's how I found out. Social media. My father, Richard Ashford, was a self-made billionaire. Started with nothing. Built Ashford Industries from the ground up. Real estate development, commercial properties, shopping malls, office buildings. The company was worth $2.3 billion. He was on Forbes lists. He played golf with senators. He had a corner office on the 47th floor, with windows overlooking the entire city. Our house, 10 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, indoor pool, tennis court. The driveway had a fountain with marble statues. Everything was white and gold and expensive. My stepmother, Victoria, wore Chanel suits and $50,000 Cartier watches. She got her nails done 3 times a week. She drove a white Bentley with custom leather seats. My half-brother, Christopher, was 24. He graduated from Yale. He had a corner office on the 45th floor. He drove a Porsche 911. He wore $1,000 suits and never had a hair out of place. Then there was me. I lived in a 600-square-foot apartment above a dry cleaner. I drove a 2008 Honda Civic with a dent in the passenger door. I worked as a landscape architect for a small firm. I made $52,000 a year. I wasn't invited to family dinners. I wasn't in the family photos on my father's desk. When he did interviews about his success, he talked about Christopher, my son, the future of Ashford Industries. He never mentioned me. The humiliation started when I was 7 years old. That's when my mother died. Cancer. She fought for 2 years. I remember sitting in hospital rooms, holding her hand, watching her get thinner and thinner. 6 months after she died, my father married Victoria. I remember the wedding. I wore a suit that was too big. My father told me to smile for the cameras. Don't ruin this, he said. Your mother would want me to be happy. I was 7. I didn't understand. Victoria moved into our house with Christopher. He was 1 year old. She redecorated everything, got rid of all my mother's things. Her photos, her clothes, her books, all of it, gone. We need a fresh start, Victoria said. I asked if I could keep one photo of my mom, just one. Don't be difficult, Marcus, my father said. Victoria's right. We need to move forward. I was 8 when they moved me to the smallest bedroom. It used to be a storage room. Christopher got the master bedroom on the 2nd floor. It had its own bathroom and a balcony. My room had one window. It looked at the neighbor's fence. I was 10 when my father stopped coming to my school events, parent-teacher conferences, science fairs, soccer games. He always had meetings, but he went to every single one of Christopher's events. I was 12 when I overheard Victoria talking to her friends. Richard had a son from his first marriage, she said. But honestly, the boy is so awkward, nothing like Christopher. Thank God Christopher takes after his father. I was standing right there. She saw me. She didn't care. I was 14 when my father told me I wasn't smart enough for private school. Christopher goes to Riverside Academy, I said. Why can't I? Christopher has potential, my father said. You're different. Public school is fine for you. Different. That was his favorite word for me. I was 16 when I asked my father to help me apply to colleges. I want to study architecture, I said. Maybe Cornell or Carnegie Mellon. He didn't even look up from his phone. Those schools are expensive, Marcus. And frankly, I don't think you'd get in. Community college is more your speed. Christopher was applying to Yale. My father hired a private college consultant for him. Cost $30,000. For me, nothing. I was 18 when I graduated high school. I didn't have a graduation party. My father said it was a waste of money. Christopher's high school graduation? 200 people. Catered dinner, live band, fireworks. I was 20 when my father told me I couldn't work at Ashford Industries. This is a family business, he said. Christopher will take over one day. You just get in the way. I'm family, I said. You know what I mean, Marcus. I did. I wasn't the right kind of family. I was 22 when my grandmother Rose, my father's mother, pulled me aside at Christmas dinner. Don't let them break you, she whispered. I see what's happening. I see you. She was the only one. I was 25 when my father forgot my birthday. Again, third year in a row. But Christopher's birthday, week-long celebration in the Bahamas. Private yacht. The whole family went. I wasn't invited. I was 28 when I stopped showing up to family events. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter. Nobody noticed. Grandma Rose was different from everyone else in that family. She grew up poor, really poor. Her father was a coal miner. She wore hand-me-down dresses. She told me stories about sharing one pair of shoes with her sister. When she married my grandfather, he was just starting his construction business. She worked alongside him, kept the books, answered phones, drove the truck when they couldn't afford a driver. She understood hard work. She understood struggle. And she loved me. Every Sunday, I'd drive to her house, a small two-bedroom place in the old part of town. Not fancy, not expensive, just home. We'd have tea. She made these lemon cookies that tasted like childhood. Your father's forgotten where he came from, she told me once. Success changed him. He thinks money makes him better than everyone else. He hates me, I said. He doesn't hate you, sweetheart. He hates that you remind him of your mother. You look just like her. Same eyes. Same smile. And he can't forgive himself for how he treated her at the end. What do you mean? She went quiet for a long time. Your mother got sick during a busy time for the business. Your father was stressed. He said some things, cruel things. He blamed her for being a burden, for costing too much money with her treatments. My stomach dropped. He told a dying woman she was too expensive? Grandma Rose nodded, tears in her eyes. I heard him. I was there. Your mother cried for hours. She made me promise never to tell you, but you deserve to know. Your father isn't a good man, Marcus. He's just a successful one. There's a difference. I was 29 when Grandma Rose got diagnosed with lung disease. The doctor said 6 months. Maybe. I visited her every day, brought groceries, helped her around the house, sat with her during her treatments. My father visited twice, both times for less than 20 minutes. Christopher never came at all. Victoria sent flowers once, with a card that said, "Get well soon," with a smiley face. 3 weeks before she died, Grandma Rose asked me to bring her a notebook and a pen. I need to write some things down, she said. Things people need to know. She spent hours writing, filling page after page. What are you writing? I asked. The truth, she said. I've kept quiet too long. I've watched your father destroy everything good in his life. I've watched him treat you like garbage. I'm done protecting him. Grandma, you don't have to. Yes, I do. When I'm gone, he's going to act like he was a devoted son. He'll cry at my funeral. He'll give some speech about how much I meant to him. And it'll all be lies. She looked at me with fierce eyes. I'm leaving you everything, Marcus. Not just money. Evidence. Documents. Recordings. Everything you need to show the world who Richard Ashford really is. Recordings? She smiled. Weak, but determined. I've been recording family dinners for 3 years. Every cruel comment, every dismissal, every time he called you worthless, I got it all. My hands started shaking. Why? Because I knew this day would come. I knew eventually he'd push you too far. And when that happened, I wanted you to have ammunition. 2 weeks later, she called me at 2 a.m. Marcus, I need you to come over, right now. I drove over in my pajamas. She was in bed, breathing hard, oxygen tubes in her nose. Under my bed, she said. There's a wooden box with brass hinges. Take it. Don't open it until I'm gone. Promise me, Grandma, promise me, Marcus. I promise. She died 3 days later. I found out about her death from Facebook. That hurt more than anything. The funeral was huge, 200 people. My father gave a eulogy that made me want to scream. My mother was the strongest woman I ever knew, he said, voice breaking dramatically. She taught me everything about hard work, about integrity, about family. I owe everything to her. Lies. All lies, he cried. Victoria rubbed his back. Christopher looked solemn in his $3,000 suit. I sat in the back row. Nobody acknowledged me. After the funeral, there was a will reading. The lawyer, a man named Gerald Hutchins, sat at the head of the conference table. My father sat next to him, Victoria next to my father, Christopher next to her. I sat at the far end. Rose Ashford's will is quite straightforward, Mr. Hutchins said. To her grandson, Christopher Ashford, she leaves the sum of $1. Christopher's mouth fell open. What? To her son, Richard Ashford, she leaves the sum of $1. My father stood up. This is ridiculous. My mother wouldn't. Please sit down, Mr. Ashford, the lawyer said calmly. To Marcus Ashford, Rose leaves her entire estate, her house valued at $400,000, her savings totaling $1.2 million, her stock portfolio valued at $3.7 million, and all contents of her personal safe, including documents, recordings, and other materials. The room went dead silent. That's impossible, Victoria said. Rose wouldn't leave everything to him. The lawyer looked at me. Mrs. Ashford left a letter. She requested I read it aloud. He pulled out an envelope, opened it, started reading. To my son Richard, I leave you $1 because that's more than you deserve. You've become a man I don't recognize. Greedy, cruel. You treated your dying wife like garbage. You've treated your son Marcus even worse. I've watched you for years, and I'm ashamed to call you my son. This dollar is a reminder. Money doesn't make you a good man. It just makes you a rich one. My father's face turned red. To my grandson Christopher, I leave you $1 because you've never once visited me when I was sick. Not once. You've learned your father's worst qualities and none of his early drive. You're a spoiled child in an expensive suit. Maybe this will teach you humility. But I doubt it. Christopher looked at Victoria. She looked furious. To my grandson Marcus, you are the only one who saw me as a person instead of a bank account. You are the only one who loved me without wanting something in return. Everything I have is yours. But more importantly, I'm leaving you the truth. Use it wisely. Use it when the time is right. Your father will try to destroy you for this. Don't let him. You are worth more than his entire empire. Never forget that. The lawyer folded the letter. That's all. Marcus, if you'll come with me, we'll discuss the transfer of assets. I stood up. My legs felt like jelly. My father grabbed my arm. You manipulated her, he hissed. You turned my own mother against me. I visited her, I said quietly. That's all I did. I showed up. This isn't over, Marcus. I'll contest this will. I'll prove you're incompetent. I'll. Mr. Ashford, the lawyer interrupted. The will is ironclad. Mrs. Ashford had 3 separate psychiatric evaluations in the months before her death. All confirmed she was of sound mind. Any contest would be frivolous. My father let go of my arm. I walked out. That was 8 months ago. The next few months were hell. My father called me 17 times the first day. I didn't answer. He showed up at my apartment, pounded on the door. Marcus, open this door. We need to talk. I didn't open it. He sent lawyers. They sent letters threatening legal action, claiming I'd coerced an elderly woman, claiming I'd stolen from the family. All nonsense. But scary nonsense. I hired my own lawyer with some of Grandma's money, a woman named Patricia Chen. She was fierce. They have nothing, she said. This is intimidation. Ignore them. But it was hard to ignore. Victoria started posting on Facebook. Subtle things. So sad when family members show their true colors. Money changes people. Some people will do anything for inheritance. Christopher sent me a text. You're a piece of garbage. Grandma must have been senile. I deleted it. Then, things got worse. My father called my boss. Told him I was under investigation for elder abuse. Completely false. But my boss called me into his office. Marcus, I got a disturbing call today. My stomach dropped. From Richard Ashford. He says you're being investigated by the police. He says you manipulated your grandmother into changing her will. None of that is true, I said. He's angry because his mother left him out of the will. He's lying. My boss studied me. I believe you, he said finally. But Marcus, he's a powerful man. If he keeps calling here, spreading rumors, it could affect the company. I can't have that. Are you firing me? No. But I need you to make this go away. I couldn't make it go away. My father was relentless. He got me uninvited from family weddings, family events, cousin Sarah's baby shower, Uncle Tom's retirement party. Marcus caused a lot of hurt, Victoria told everyone. We think it's best if he's not around. I was being erased, again. But I had the box, Grandma Rose's wooden box with brass hinges. I opened it one night in my apartment. Inside, 17 USB drives, each one labeled with a date. I plugged in the first one. It was a video, Thanksgiving dinner. 3 years ago, my father was at the head of the table, Victoria next to him, Christopher, me at the far end, barely in frame. My father was talking about the business. Christopher's been doing excellent work, he said. I'm so proud of him. A real Ashford. Then someone asked about me. What about Marcus? What's he up to? My father's face changed. Cold. Marcus is, well, he's not really cut out for this kind of work. He's more of a laborer type. Manual work. It's fine. Not everyone can be a success. Everyone laughed. I felt sick watching it. I plugged in another USB. Christmas dinner. 2 years ago. My father was opening gifts. He got a watch from Victoria, a pen from Christopher. I gave him a book, a biography of an architect he admired. He opened it, looked at it, set it aside without a word. Thanks, Marcus, he said flatly, then turned to Christopher. Let's see what you got me. I plugged in another USB. Easter brunch. 18 months ago, Victoria was talking about redecorating. I'm thinking of turning the East guest room into a gym, she said. That was my old bedroom, I said quietly. Well, you don't live here anymore, Victoria said. And honestly, it was always too small. Perfect for a gym, though, everyone agreed. My childhood bedroom, gone, turned into a place for Victoria to do yoga. I went through all 17 USB drives, hours of footage. My father calling me the slow one, my father saying I was a disappointment from day one, Victoria calling me Richard's mistake, Christopher laughing and saying I was basically not even family. But the worst one was from my mother's funeral. I was 7, standing at the grave, crying. My father pulled me aside, the camera. Grandma's phone, caught it. Stop crying, Marcus, he hissed. People are watching. You're embarrassing me. But Mom is gone, I sobbed. I know that. But crying won't bring her back. You need to be strong. You need to stop being so weak. I was 7 years old. Watching it now, as a grown man, I finally understood. My father had never loved me. Not once. I was a reminder of his first life, his first wife, his mistakes, and he'd spent 25 years punishing me for existing. But now I had proof. 3 weeks ago, I got an invitation. A physical invitation. Cream-colored cardstock. Gold lettering. You are cordially invited to the Forbes CEO Gala honoring Richard Ashford. Join us as we celebrate 40 years of excellence and innovation. The event was at the Grand Riverside Ballroom. Black tie, 200 guests, journalists, business partners, politicians. I almost threw the invitation away. But then I saw the note at the bottom, handwritten. Marcus, I know we've had our differences, but this is an important night for the family. I'd like you to be there. Dad, Dad, he'd never called himself that in writing. I called Patricia, my lawyer. It's a trap, she said. Don't go. What can he do? It's a public event. He's planning something. I can feel it, but I didn't care, because I was planning something too. I spent 2 weeks preparing, editing footage, creating a video compilation, 20 minutes long. Every cruel moment, every dismissal, every time my father showed exactly who he was. I hired a tech guy to help me, cost $2,000. What's this for? He asked. A presentation, I said. The night of the gala, I wore the nicest suit I owned. A black suit I'd bought for $400 at Nordstrom Rack. Not expensive, but clean. I drove to the Grand Riverside Ballroom in my Honda Civic, parked next to Porsches and Mercedes and Bentleys. I felt like an imposter. The ballroom was massive: crystal chandeliers, white tablecloths, ice sculptures, a stage with a podium and a massive projector screen. I checked in at the door. The woman looked at my name on the list. Her eyebrows went up. Marcus Ashford, that's me. She scanned the room, nervous. Just have a good evening. I walked in. 200 people in tuxedos and evening gowns. Everyone looked expensive. Everyone looked important. I found my table, table 18, the back of the room. My father's table, table 1, right in front of the stage. Of course, dinner was served. Filet mignon, lobster tail, wine that cost more than my monthly rent. I didn't eat. My stomach was churning. At 8:30, the speeches started. The Forbes editor gave a speech about innovation and leadership. A senator gave a speech about job creation. Then my father took the stage. He looked perfect. Tailored tuxedo, silver hair slicked back. $1 million smile. Thank you all for being here tonight, he said. This is truly humbling. Applause. Lots of it. 40 years ago, I started Ashford Industries with nothing but a pickup truck and a dream. I worked 18-hour days. I sacrificed everything. But I built something I'm proud of. Something that will last for generations. More applause. I couldn't have done it without my incredible family. My beautiful wife, Victoria. She stood, waved. Applause. My brilliant son, Christopher, the future of this company. Christopher stood, smiled. More applause. Then my father's eyes found me. And my other son, Marcus. The room went quiet. People turned to look at me. Marcus is, well, he's different from Christopher. He didn't go to Yale. He doesn't work for the company. He's a landscape architect. A few people laughed. He's tried, bless his heart. But not everyone is cut out for this world. Not everyone has what it takes to build something meaningful. And that's okay. We can't all be winners. My hands clenched under the table. The truth is, Marcus has been a challenge. From the day he was born, his mother spoiled him, made him soft, made him think he deserved things without earning them. And I've spent years trying to toughen him up. But some people just don't want to change. He paused. Dramatic. So when my own mother left Marcus her entire fortune, cutting me and Christopher out completely, I wasn't surprised. She always had a soft spot for broken things, for strays, for people who needed saving. The room was silent now. Everyone staring at me. Marcus, if you're listening, I want you to know something. You were the biggest mistake of my life. Not because I don't love you, but because I failed you. I should have been harder on you. I should have pushed you more. Instead, I let you coast. And now look at you, 32 years old. No wife, no kids, no real career. Living in a tiny apartment, driving a car that's falling apart. My vision blurred. You had every advantage. My name, my connections. But you squandered it all. You're a disappointment, Marcus. To me, to your stepmother, to your brother, to the memory of your mother. He paused, looked right at me. You were my biggest mistake, and I just wanted to say that publicly. So everyone knows. So there's no confusion about where you stand in this family. Then he smiled. But hey, at least Grandma left you some money. Maybe you can finally move out of that dump you live in. Laughter. So much laughter. I stood up. Everyone went quiet. I walked to the stage. Slowly, every eye on me. My father's smile faltered. Marcus, this isn't the time. I walked up the steps, stood next to him. I'd like to say something, I said calmly. The moderator looked confused. This isn't really. Let him speak, my father said, smirking. Let's hear what Marcus has to say. He thought I'd yell, cry, make a scene. Instead, I pulled out a USB drive from my pocket. I just want to show everyone something, I said. A video, about family, about truth. I walked to the laptop connected to the projector. My father's face changed. Marcus, don't. I plugged in the USB drive. The lights dimmed. The screen lit up, and then everyone saw exactly who Richard Ashford really was. The video started with a title card. The real Richard Ashford, 40 years of cruelty. My father lunged for the laptop. Turn that off. But I stood in front of it, calm, quiet. Everyone deserves to know the truth, I said. The first clip played. Thanksgiving dinner. My father calling me the slow one. Then Christmas. My father ignoring my gift. Then Easter. Victoria laughing about turning my bedroom into a gym. Clip after clip. Year after year. My father's cruelty on full display. People gasped. Someone said, "Oh my God." My father was screaming now. "This is fake. He edited this. He." But then came the clip from my mother's funeral. 7-year-old me, crying. My father pulling me aside. "Stop crying, Marcus. You're embarrassing me." The room went completely silent. Victoria's face was white. Christopher looked sick. The video kept playing. My father calling me worthless. My father saying I was a burden. My father telling people I wasn't smart enough for private school. My father saying I'd never amount to anything. 20 minutes of evidence. When it ended, the screen went black. Nobody moved. I unplugged the USB drive, put it back in my pocket. "That's who you're celebrating tonight," I said quietly. "A man who spent 40 years building a company and destroying his son." I looked at my father. He was shaking. "You called me your biggest mistake. But you're wrong. I'm not the mistake, Dad. You are. You had a son who loved you, who would have done anything for you. And you threw it away because I reminded you of Mom. Because I made you feel guilty for how you treated her." Tears were running down my face now. Grandma saw it. She recorded it. She wanted the world to know, and now they do. I turned to the crowd. "Enjoy the rest of your evening. Congratulations on 40 years of success, Dad. I hope it was worth it." Then I walked off the stage and out of the ballroom, and I didn't look back. My phone started buzzing before I even reached my car. Texts, calls, emails. I ignored all of it. I drove home in silence, parked my car, walked up to my apartment, sat on my couch in the dark, and I waited. The next morning, my phone had 147 notifications. I finally looked. Missed calls from my father, 23 missed calls from Victoria, 11 missed calls from Christopher, 8 texts from my father. "Call me immediately. You've ruined everything. How dare you?" Text from Victoria, "You're a spiteful, horrible person. Your grandmother would be ashamed." Text from Christopher, "I hope you're happy. You just destroyed our family." But there were other messages too, from cousins I hadn't talked to in years. "Marcus, I had no idea. I'm so sorry. What your father did to you was wrong. I'm sorry we didn't see it. I always knew something was off, but I didn't realize it was this bad." From my father's business partners. "Marcus, this is Gerald Thompson from Thompson Investments. I'd like to speak with you about your father's behavior." "Marcus, this is Linda Chen from Forbes. Would you be willing to do an interview?" From strangers. "Someone posted your video online. It's going viral." "You're so brave." I checked online. The video was everywhere. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. "Billionaire CEO exposed for abusing son." Heartbreaking. Son reveals 25 years of emotional abuse. Forbes CEO called son biggest mistake. Then this happened. 5 million views. 10 million. 20 million. The comments were overwhelming. "This broke my heart. Marcus deserves so much better. I'm crying watching this. No child should be treated this way. Richard Ashford is a monster. I'll never support his company again." But the real consequences started that afternoon. My lawyer Patricia called me. "Marcus, you need to see this." She sent me a link. It was a statement from Thompson Investments, one of my father's biggest partners. After reviewing recent revelations about Richard Ashford's personal conduct, Thompson Investments has decided to terminate our partnership with Ashford Industries, effective immediately. We do not condone abuse of any kind and cannot in good conscience continue this relationship. Then another statement. Blue Star Holdings, we are severing all ties with Ashford Industries. Riverside Bank, we are closing the Ashford Industries line of credit. Chen and Associates, we are withdrawing our investment. One by one, my father's partners were walking away. His empire was collapsing, and I didn't have to do anything. The truth did it all. The Forbes article came out 3 days later. The Fall of Richard Ashford. When success comes at the cost of humanity. It detailed everything. The video, the will, the years of abuse. They interviewed child psychologists who watched the clips. This is textbook emotional abuse, one said. The systematic devaluation, the public humiliation, the gaslighting. This child was traumatized for decades. They interviewed business ethics professors. Richard Ashford built his empire on ruthlessness. We celebrated that in the business world. But this shows the real cost. A man who destroyed his own son to feed his ego. The stock price for Ashford Industries dropped 34% in 1 week. Clients started canceling contracts. Employees started quitting. The board called an emergency meeting. Patricia told me what happened. She had a source inside. They asked your father to step down, she said, temporarily, until the PR disaster blows over. Did he? He refused, said he built the company and nobody could take it from him. What did they say? They voted him out anyway. 7-2. He's no longer CEO. I didn't feel happy. I didn't feel vindicated. I felt empty. Christopher called me the next day. First time in years. You destroyed everything, he said. His voice was shaking. Dad's out. The company's falling apart. Mom is having panic attacks. Our family is ruined. Your family ruined me first, I said quietly. You could have talked to us. You could have. I tried. For 25 years. Nobody listened. Silence. I didn't know it was this bad, Christopher said finally. I thought Dad was just tough on you. I didn't realize you didn't want to realize. It was easier to ignore. I'm sorry, Marcus. I really am. Okay. Is that it? Just okay. What do you want me to say, Christopher? That I forgive you? That we're good now? I don't forgive you. You stood by and watched. You laughed. You participated. I was a kid. You were old enough to know better. I hung up. Victoria tried a different approach. She sent a letter to my apartment. Marcus, I know you're angry. I know you feel hurt. But this vendetta against your father is destroying innocent people. Christopher didn't deserve this. I didn't deserve this. Your father made mistakes, but he's still your father. He still loves you. Please, can we talk? Can we fix this? Victoria, I burned the letter in my sink. My father didn't call, didn't write, didn't reach out. His pride wouldn't allow it. But I heard about him through other people. He moved out of the family house. Victoria filed for divorce. The prenup was brutal. She got almost nothing. Christopher took a job at a different company, wanted distance from the Ashford name. My father moved into a condo, alone. His friends stopped calling. His golf club asked him to resign. The charity boards removed him. He was erased, just like he'd erased me. 6 weeks after the gala, Ashford Industries filed for bankruptcy. The board tried to save it, brought in a new CEO, restructured, but the damage was too deep. Nobody wanted to work with a company built on cruelty. Employees left, clients left, investors left. The $2.3 billion empire collapsed in 8 weeks. I watched it happen from my apartment, watched the news coverage, read the articles. The fastest corporate collapse in modern history, one analyst said. Richard Ashford didn't just lose his company, he lost his legacy. I felt nothing. People kept asking me if I felt guilty, journalists, strangers online, distant relatives. Do you regret exposing your father? Do you feel bad about destroying the company? Was it worth it? I gave the same answer every time. I didn't destroy anything. I just told the truth. The consequences were already there. I just made them visible, because that's what it was. My father had spent 40 years building a house on a foundation of lies, and when the truth came out, the whole thing collapsed. Not because of me, because it was always going to collapse. I just sped up the timeline. Patricia called me one afternoon. Marcus, I got a call from your father's lawyer. He wants to settle. Settle what? He's contesting your grandmother's will again. But this time, he's offering a deal. He'll drop the lawsuit if you publicly recant. Say the videos were edited. Say you lied. I laughed. Actually laughed. Tell him no. Marcus, he's desperate. He might offer money. I don't want his money. I have Grandma's money. I'm fine. What do you want? I thought about it. Nothing. I don't want anything from him. Not an apology. Not money. Nothing. He's irrelevant to me now. And I meant it. 2 months after the gala, Christopher showed up at my apartment. I opened the door. He looked terrible, thinner, dark circles under his eyes. Can I come in? He asked. I almost said no. but something in his face stopped me. Fine. He sat on my couch, looked around my apartment. This is smaller than I expected. I know. Silence. I watched all the videos, he said finally. The full versions, not just what you showed at the gala. Patricia's firm released them as part of the legal defense. I didn't say anything. I watched Dad tell you that you were worthless. I watched him ignore you at your high school graduation. I watched him, God, Marcus. I watched him tell a 7-year-old to stop crying at his mother's funeral. His voice cracked. I was there for some of it. I laughed. I thought it was funny. I thought you were just sensitive. That Dad was just being Dad. You were. I was a piece of garbage. I'm still a piece of garbage. But I'm trying to understand how I became that. He looked at me. Victoria told me I was special, that I was better than you, that you were Dad's mistake from his old life. And I believed her. I believed I deserved everything, and you deserved nothing. You did. I'm sorry, Marcus. I'm so sorry. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't deserve forgiveness, but I needed to say it. Face to face. I'm sorry. I looked at my half-brother, this person I'd envied my entire life. He looked broken. What happened to you? I asked. I lost my job. Turns out nobody wants to hire the son of Richard Ashford. I lost my apartment. I'm living with a friend right now. Mom, Victoria, won't talk to me. Says I'm a reminder of her failed marriage. And Dad? Christopher's face went dark. Dad blames me. Says I should have stopped you at the gala. Says I'm weak. Says I'm just as worthless as you. He laughed bitterly. Welcome to the club. We sat in silence. I don't forgive you, I said finally. Not yet. Maybe not ever. I understand. But I don't hate you either. You were raised by a narcissist. You didn't know better. That's not an excuse. No, it's not. But it's an explanation. Christopher nodded. Can I ask you something? He said. Yeah. Do you regret it, showing the videos? I thought about it. No, not for a second. Even though it destroyed everything, it destroyed his empire. Not mine. I never had an empire. I just had the truth, and the truth set me free. Christopher stood up to leave. For what it's worth, I think Grandma would be proud of you. I know she would. He left. I never saw him again. 3 months after the gala, I drove to Grandma Rose's grave. It was a Sunday, early morning, frost on the grass. Her headstone was simple. Gray granite, just her name and dates. But at the bottom, there was an inscription. She knew her worth. She taught others theirs. I sat on the ground in front of the grave. Didn't care that the grass was wet. Hey, Grandma, I said out loud. It's me. The cemetery was quiet. Just birds and wind. I did it. I showed everyone who Dad really is. Just like you knew I'd have to. I pulled out the USB drive from my pocket. The one with all the videos. Your plan worked. The videos. The will. Everything. Dad lost it all. The company. The respect. Everything. I traced her name on the headstone. I thought I'd feel better. I thought when he finally fell, I'd feel vindicated. But I just feel tired. A tear ran down my face. You were right about him. He never loved me. He never even saw me. I was just a reminder of his guilt, of Mom, of his failures. I wiped my eyes. But you saw me. You loved me. You made me feel like I mattered. And I'm going to carry that for the rest of my life. I stood up, brushed off my jeans. Thank you, Grandma, for everything. For the money, yeah, but more for the truth. For giving me permission to stop pretending. For showing me I'm not crazy, that I didn't deserve any of it. I kissed my hand. Pressed it to her headstone. I love you. I miss you. And I promise, I'll never let anyone make me feel worthless again. I walked back to my car. As I drove away, I looked in the rearview mirror. The cemetery got smaller and smaller, and I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Peace. I want to talk to you directly now. If you're watching this, there's a reason. Maybe you have a parent like mine. Someone who made you feel small. Someone who told you that you weren't good enough, that you were a mistake, a burden, a disappointment. Maybe you have a family that treats you like you're invisible. That celebrates everyone else, but never you. That forgets your birthday. That doesn't invite you to events. That acts like you don't matter. Maybe you've spent years trying to earn love from people who will never give it. I want you to know something. You are not the problem, they are. Healthy parents don't call their children mistakes. Healthy families don't erase people. Healthy love doesn't require you to earn it. You were born worthy. You were born enough. You were born deserving of love and respect and kindness. The fact that they couldn't see that, that's their failure, not yours. I spent 25 years trying to be good enough for my father, trying to make him proud, trying to earn his love. And I finally realized I could never be good enough because the problem wasn't me. The problem was him. He was broken, not me. And maybe your parent is broken too, or your family, or whoever made you feel like you don't matter. Their brokenness is not your responsibility to fix. You don't owe them your silence. You don't owe them your suffering. You don't owe them your loyalty. You owe yourself the truth. And the truth is, you matter. You are valuable. You are worthy. With or without them. My grandmother saw that in me when nobody else did. And because of her, I finally saw it in myself. So if nobody else is telling you this, let me be the one. You are enough, exactly as you are. You don't need to change. You don't need to do more. You don't need to be someone else. You just need to know your worth. And once you know it, nobody can take it away. Not your parents, not your family, not anyone. The truth set me free. I hope it sets you free too. If this story touched you, please hit that subscribe button and check the description for more stories like this. And remember, you are enough exactly as you are. Thank you for watching. And thank you for letting me share my story.